But what were your thoughts on the 49ers coaching staff? Now, obviously, Mike McDaniel gets the huge promotion to become the head coach, but this team, a lot of coaches have left. What the Embry, he was the assistant head coach, the tight end coach. He went with McDaniel. Wes Welker went with McDaniel. We lost, I think, 2 offensive line coaches, and we've added an influx of youth to this coaching staff, which
14,
I think is great.
14 new coaches.
Crazy, right? I don't remember the last time I've seen that amount of coaching turnover. Also, we lost the Sangrello. I know one of your favorite coaches,
Rich Scangarello, who does absolutely nothing.
Hey, he was coaching Jimmy G up, man. I mean,
yeah. He did a bang-up job.
And obviously, a lot of guys are new, like Leonard Hankerson. I know he played with Shanahan. He's going to be the wide receiver coach. He coached wide receivers at colleges beforehand. This is his first time being a pro wide receiver coach. So what do we expect from him? I don't know. But he's played the position. He knows what Shanahan wants. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the new coaching additions. And also, we got to talk about the quarterback coach as well after that.
Yeah, there was a report, I don't know, Jesse Naylor might have been on this back in November, about some coaches not being on the Trey Lance train. And the 2 coaches that were mentioned were Scangarello and their wide receiver coach, the little guy.
Wes Welker.
Wow. And sure enough, they both were gone. They're both gone. It's weird. You don't know how much of it is guys just picking jobs up on other teams,
right?
And how much of it was just a philosophy switch going with this new quarterback. And, like Bobby Turner's taking a year off to recover from some surgeries, but he's coming back. But other than that, yeah, man, we got gutted. I mean, we lost everybody. Yeah. I think the only coaches we retained were like Chris Kasarik, D'Amico Ryans, and Kyle Shanahan. Yeah. It was that bad. I was interested to see the son of Gary Kubiak on the coaching staff, Clay Kubiak. That was surprising, but also really awesome.
Nepotism.
Hey, man, if you love football, and that's what, props to that. I mean, look at Kyle. I mean, they're obsessed with football, man. It's either in your genes, bro, or it's not.
Or it's not, yeah.
I'm actually hyped for him and the quarterback coach we're about to talk about. Leonard Hankerson seems like an interesting, it seems like a lot of guys that the Shanahans have had either history with, like Anthony Lynn played on the Broncos, Greasy played on the Broncos. It is a lot of nepotism and it's a lot of familiarity. And listen, the Niners have done a really good job of developing coaches. You could say what you want about their success or where they've gotten to and what they haven't accomplished, but when it comes to coaching, you could say that they've done a really good job. So I'm excited. It's a new era. I mean, we have this shiny new toy that we're ready to show to the world, and you're either on board or you're out of here, dude. Yep. And I think there might have been some of that, but then a lot of it just was, I don't know, an overturning of just change of philosophy, or people just wanted to poach us, and Shanahan said, go ahead.
I would agree with your last statement, and the 49ers franchise has been successful, I would say, with Shanahan. I mean, 2 NFC Championship appearances, 1 Super Bowl appearance. I think that is considered a success. Of course, we want to win number 6, that Lombardi Trophy, but right. I think overall it's been pretty successful, and other teams want to emulate that. But we got to talk about one of the more surprising hires from Kyle Shanahan. He hires a former quarterback, Brian Greasy, who, he's been in the ESPN booth the last few years. Granted, what's good about this hire, I say, with Greasy is he's played under Mike Shanahan. He knows the system. He knows what the Shanahans expect from, their quarterback, but he's never coached at the NFL level at all. And now we put, Trey Lance future production in the hands of a guy who's never, coached at this level. But let's be real. If Trey Lance does well, Shanahan's going to get all the praise. if Trey Lance doesn't do well, they're going to blame Shanahan. So what were your thoughts on the Brian Griese front, on him getting hired by Shanahan?
I was happy at first, but then when I found out that he didn't have any coaching experience, it kind of put me off a little bit. But I really think when it comes to this coaching staff, especially when it comes to quarterbacks, I really think that Kyle has a certain amount of things or certain things that he wants to see or to be taught, and these guys are pretty much just like an offshoot of what he wants. And I think like you said, familiarity helps. The fact that they played in the system with his dad helps. But I mean they sent Trey Lance to go with John Beck, and
Right.
Kyle specifically wanted him to work on mechanics with John Beck. Now, I'm sure that that's going to kind of be the same way with Clay Kubiak and with Brian Griese, that Kyle's got specific things that he wants Trey to work on. And the fact that Brian played in that offense, he can kind of help him because he's literally been on the field and done it himself. So I see where he lacks in maybe the ability to communicate things, or just, he knows the X's and O's part. He played in the system. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, it would have been nice for them to go with somebody that was a little bit more experienced, but the fact that they took somebody who has played in that system, I think it'll bode well. And really, at the end of the day, who's the coach on this team? Who calls the shots? It's Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
So really, in a way, I'm not as worried because Shanahan is there. So I think these guys a lot of them are just like minions right now, to be honest with you. Kyle says they do, you know what I mean? Yeah. So in the end, if Kyle Shanahan wasn't the quarterback, I would have more problems with this type of move. But because he is who he is, and the history with his family, I'm not as nervous about it.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. And as you said, it's all about familiarity. And obviously, he is very familiar with Brian Griese. So I think he wasn't on the radar, but you can understand the thinking behind it.